Let's go ahead and call this meeting to order. We can all stand and pledge allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Determined to get rid of the flag.
I have been for 4 years.
How's it working? Can we get a roll call of the members present, please?
Councilmember Jessen.
Councilman Jessen indicated he was running about 10-15 minutes late. Don't wait. So we will.
Councilmember Graham. Present. Councilmember Conover. Present. Councilmember Whitten.
I am here.
Councilmember Paparad.
Here.
Councilmember Diggs.
Here.
And Councilmember Rivas.
Here.
The current date is
All right. Thank you very much. First reading, please.
Taxpayers that propose additional appropriations. Notice is hereby given to taxpayers of Porter County, Indiana, that the proper legal offices of Porter County, Indiana will meet in the Porter County Government Administration Building located at 155 Indiana Avenue, Valparaiso, Indiana, 4633 on April 28th at 5 p.m. to consider the following additional appropriations in excess of the county budget for the year 2015 and to transact any further business which might come before the council. Porter County General Fund. Treasurer, 1,031.10 legal, 5,000. Sheriff General, 1,011.10 salary, 24,000. Sheriff General, 1,011.30 overtime, 7,029.60. Soil and water, 1,022.50. Other supplies, 2,500. Juvenile probation general fund, a reduction in salaries, line 1,000, line item 11, salaries reduction of 10,642. Parks general fund, 1,1085, 3420, building liability and town coverage, 1,617.47 cents, for a total out of the general fund of 29,505.07. Major move construction, 1172, 2293, 2362 for tenant, $400,000. MBH fund, 1176, account 2310, tires, tubes, batteries, 20,000. 1176, account 2320, garage and lumber supplies, 50,000. 1176, account 3650, vehicle repair, 50,000, for a total of 120,000. Jail rainy day fund, 1186, 2,000, line item 2350, building maintenance of $250,000. Recorder's records perpetuation fund, 1189, line item 3410, all official bonds, $150. Supplemental public defender services, 1,200, line item 1310, legal services, $15,000. Tax sale fees fund, fund 1203, line item 3950, contractual services, 26,930. Donations, Vilna Wildlife Fund, 4,100, 4,109, line item 4210, building, $30,000. Pond and Prairie Fund, 8153, line item 3950, Pond and Prairie Fund, $71,500. Parks Grant Playground, 9102, line item 3950, contractual services, $7,834.97. Circuit Court JDAI Grant Fund, 9125, line item 2250, other supplies, $1,500. 9125, 3130, training and ed, 7,000. 9125, 3210, travel, 5,000. 9125, 3950, contractual, 10,000, for a total of 23,500 out of the JDAI grant fund. And Parks Community Foundation Fund, 9140, line item 3950, contractual services of $1,500. Taxpayers appearing in such meetings shall have a right to be heard thereon. The additional appropriations assigned and made will be referred to the Indiana Department of Local Government Finance. The DLGF will make a written determination as to the sufficiency of funds to support the appropriations made within 15 days of receipt of the certified copy of the action taken. Is your Vatican Auditor of Public of Porter County, published in the Chesapeake Tribune on April 17, 2016.
Thank you very much. Any questions on the first reading? None. Porter Superior Court General Fund. transfer of $289.20 from 3110 legal to 3460 liability, not enough funds available to pay judges, liability insurance. What is your pleasure?
Second.
A motion and a couple of seconds. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Now let's do the public defender next, because it kind of goes along with the courts. Public defender here. If you can go to the second page, that's when I lump that in with the courts, so I don't like that. I think this has to do with courts. Supplemental Public Defender Services, additional $15,013.10 legal services, additional need to fund legal services for felony case that required conflict legal counsel.
This is out of the PD supplemental fund, not general fund. This is the item that a couple years ago I asked for $15,000. Council reduced it to $5,000 and said come back to it. I hadn't spent it up until this time anyway out of that fund. This is the first time we needed conflict counsel.
This is because there was a conflict of interest that we thought was
There was a special prosecutor that had to be brought in on this case, and therefore that also, in my opinion, is special. Motion to approve.
We have a motion and a second on the floor. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilmember Graham?
Yes.
Councilmember Conover?
Yes.
Councilmember Whitten?
Yes.
Councilmember Pepperell?
Yes.
Councilmember Biggs?
Yes.
Councilmember Rivas?
Yes.
And Councilmember Jenkins is not here. Motion carries 6-0.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, gentlemen. Emergency management, hazardous substance, transfer $250 from postage to equipment other than vehicles, another $100 from 3930 dues and subscriptions to 3630 equipment to cover costs of annual copier maintenance agreements. We have a motion, a second on both transfers, I assume.
Yes.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you very much. Porter County Election Board General Fund, transfer $40,000 from ballots and coding to equipment transfer to cover poll books leaks.
Good evening, Council. For those of you who don't know, my name is David Beck, I'm the president of the County Election Board. We're asking for a transfer of funds from the ballot and coding account to our equipment account. This is for e-poll books. I'm not sure if you're all familiar with e-poll books or not, but the e-poll book function is the actual, currently if you came in and the poll worker would have a paper book that you would sign your name showing that you come in the book. Okay? The e-poll book is basically looks like a Walmart scanner or something you sign on a credit card slip or a small iPad. And it basically, it looks up the information off the scan on the back of your driver's license or an identification card or a military ID. And so then it'll bring up a single line, the person will then sign it. If it's a primary issue selection like we have now, they'll indicate the party preference so that the proper ballot is generated. In the past, the biggest error that we had with the accounting of the ballot has been the literal counting of the sort of signatures as you're flipping through the book at the end of the day.
Here, just a second. Becky, if you show Councilman Jessen.
Yes.
I apologize for the tardiness.
Explain.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. So the idea behind purchasing these bullets is, one is to increase the efficiency, but we're also saving some funds that we're not replacing the entire election equipment because it blends and melds with our current equipment. We're still under contract with the SNS, who's our current election equipment provider, for another 2 years. So we're not replacing the entire election equipment across the board, which then you're talking much larger than $40,000. You're talking about that really. So we're staying within our budget, but at the same time, we're improving the efficiency and process and speeding it up. I think it takes a little bit of burden off of the poll workers right now. We're working 15-hour days to try and get this stuff done. So, and it's also going to save paper costs because it identifies to the printer exactly the right ballot. So you're not printing excess ballots, you're printing ballots. So there's some efficiencies.
So there'll be a printer at every polling place?
We print an advance number, so they don't fall Correct, that's the OpScan process that you're talking about, the ballot count.
So-
And those are the M100 machines that are kind of dated, and by using the e-poll book, we're still using those together. Okay, we're not abandoning them or having to replace them, so we're extending the life by still advancing the equipment.
Really, all we're doing is.
Was this approved, was the lease contract approved by the commissioners?
Yes.
What new?
They've already got it, to put with their correspondence with the commissioners, it should have been signed, it should have been,
And what meeting was it?
it should have been the last meeting.
I think their meeting's tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's up with the commissioners.
And you said the e-poll book does interface, with the M100 machine?
Well, they don't interface, the M100 is just a ballot counter, it's just an option scanner. So it basically is scanning that colored in circle. What the e-poll book does is it identifies what ballots you printed to feed it. So that's where you're saving, you're not printing an excess number of ballots and then not using them.
How much money do we spend on printing ballots?
Printing ballots, they're approximately $1 a piece. So you're looking at it, if we print 100,000 of them, so that's our county population of registered voters, so that's the number.
What is the total cost of this? You're transferring $40,000, what do we spend on this?
That's the payment number one out of three. So this is gonna pay for the actual e-poll book as well as the air card use that transmits the information back to the county.
I guess my concern is that, it's not that, it doesn't seem like it's been, the contract's been approved by the commissioners. And it seems like we may have done some obligating before it was brought to the county council. And that feels a little bit like the cart before the horse to me. That's just an observation. But,
Wait a minute, you made a statement right for Dan. When she signs in on the e-poll, that comes back to the county, or to the printer that's sitting 7 feet away?
The only information that goes back to the county is indicating that the individual is voted. So that way they can't go to another location and try to vote again. If we're using an early voting sense, so you can't run from Chesterton, come down to Valpo, and then do it again. Okay? It's gonna tabulate that you've already.
Is that a rampant problem in this county?
I don't know if it's a random problem, but it is an issue with the electronic means. That's one of the issues with all the, that you're already trying to prevent it.
And you're saying this is, one of the three contracts that's already been, that you're asking?
No, this is payment number one, spread over 3 years. That way we stay within our budget.
David, how does this save, voter registration money?
Where it's saving the money is we're not buying the paper in advance, we're not printing all those ballots that we previously were. So our past election, we spent close to $80,000 in paper ballot money. Now we're only printing what we're using. Maybe in this election year, we're gonna get a lot less ballots than we would in the presidential election of next year, where we're probably gonna get that. So that's where you're saving this money, you're not printing all those ballots ahead of time, and then letting them sit there and then not doing it.
So in no way is this replacing the paper ballot?
Absolutely not. All this does is increases the count, so you guys are asking, if there's 17 people that come into the precinct, I'm just throwing the number out, instead of having to go back to that poll book and count those individuals, then that's where we're finding the errors. That's what you're eliminating. You're eliminating that manual book, making it easier for that person that's taking the ballots. Our poll workers are not young, and so it's a long day. Even my daughter, who's 17, did it last year. I mean, you get 12, 15 hours in.
Were we doing it wrong, or were we just trying to make it more convenient? Because democracy sometimes is cumbersome. And the voting process, when we does vote, is a little bit cumbersome. I don't know if, and I'll just tell you right in front of my votes.
Sure.
Because with all the, let's talk about Target, community health, Humana, all these data breaches, nobody, and that's what this guy told me, who isn't secure in their right consciousness to say that anything goes over the internet secure. When I go in to vote, I really do like to have a piece of paper and I sign a book, and Sylvia is there to make sure I sign the book at the right spot, and that's called democracy, and democracy is not easy.
David reaches, which is every time we have a police trooper. Because the next step will be the elimination of the paper ballot. It will be a touchscreen. And they'll come back to us in another year and a half or 2 years, and there'll be no more paper. After this is headed.
I don't think it'll be 2 years. I mean, eventually, I think that's what you're heading to.
But I'm not comfortable, I'm not, well,
Paper.
we can talk about it all day long, I'm not comfortable with that.
Well, can I ask a question?
Let me answer your question, though. You said you had a question about the data, not to interrupt.
No, please go
But,
ahead.
you know, the hack and Target and things like that. Now, you're not comparing apples to apples. Target is
That's right, absolutely
processing your information, your credit information, your social security information. That's all going over the internet.
Absolutely.
What's happening on this system, it's a plunk on a signature card.
You said, I see the word Wi-Fi here.
Correct. That's how it's
That's
transmitted.
it.
That's how it's transmitted from here to there. But the information that's being transmitted in the air is not your personal information.
Well, I
Okay.
don't agree, no, I'm just.
So I just want to make sure you understood that.
Yeah, but I'm referring to the fact that nobody can say it's secure.
Well, no, I just want to make.
Yeah, no, I understand it's not personal data, but it's not secure, and it can be hacked, it can be changed, and it can be manipulated, however way you want to use it. That's all I'm saying.
I'd like to interject here, so because I've got this yellow envelope left here, and I don't know what's from, but it's got some questions, and, I think we all got lots of things, but one of the things that says that we have, this contract, is for $162,000, for 84 e-poll books, and that, but in a bigger election, we would need an additional 45 e-poll books for next year. Is that true?
Right, we have to purchase the additional ones for next year. We just don't have the funds in our budget to be able to buy them all in advance.
So David, so I understand it, because this wasn't really high on the radar, recently. The contract of $162,000 was for 84 poll books, which we are breaking up into smaller contracts. But in addition to that, we're going to have to purchase another 45?
We're going to have to purchase, because once you get to the full 102 precinct locations, we're going to need the additional poll books for those precincts.
What is the total cost of all this? And what does that include in licensing every year? What are we looking at here?
That is the entire.
That's
the
it?
licensing, that's the maintenance, their tax report.
What, $250,000 when we're
No,
set
no,
up?
no. You're looking at $120,000 just in the poll books. Because you're at 3 payments of $40,000 each. Okay? The additional cost that gets to $160,000, there's also online military voting that was a charge as part of the software package that we added as well this year.
But in addition to that, is the additional poll books for the 120-some precincts, is that in addition to the $162,000 that we're going to have to be finding?
To purchase the additional books?
Yes.
To get to the 112.
Okay.
I'd like to ask, you said something about, we're going to be paying for procedural.
The software to do that online.
Okay. How much do we pay now for that?
I don't know what the current is, but we added the online vote, because that's part of the Federal Voting Act, is that we're supposed to offer that option to the overseas military.
I'd like to ask something. The system that we have now has been tried and true. It does have a paper trail, and it has been tested, and we know that it works. So why are we wanting to do this if it's not broken? Why are we wanting to change?
Because the accuracy that you currently have is not 100%. Okay?
I think of what, about three or so elections ago, it was tested, and they were four votes off.
In what we encounter, those evenings at an election, when we're going back and doing the accounting of the vote, it's not accurate 100%. That's what we found, is that the numbers aren't counted correctly. So this is to make it a little easier and also make it more efficient and accurate to do that. Because it is a manual count. Whenever you have a manual count, there is a human error that's involved.
But you also have a paper trail.
And we will this way too. We will still have a ballot. There is going to be a paper trail at the end. Like I said, we're not eliminating the printing of those paper ballots. You're still going to have to fill in the circle, and those still have to be scanned by the current M100 machines that we have.
And I don't disagree with anything you said, but if we sit here long enough, we will touch screen ballots.
So we're replacing the paper poll books,
Right.
which right now, we're paying how much for paper poll books?
I'm not sure what the current cost of the paper
mean,
The statute requires you're supposed to have 100% of the ballots printed,
so then how do you do that if you do it on demand?
because now you're printing 100%. Every person that comes in, you're printing a ballot. That's the, where you can
So
still.
the savings
that's
is,
required.
so the savings is we're only printing out the exact number of
printing-
ballots instead of additional ballots, just, okay.
Because otherwise you
But
get.
we don't know that, we don't know that amount as we sit here. We don't know what we've been spending for additional ballots. But that's what the savings is, right? We're printing 100% one-to-one ballots with this, but the savings, we're still printing the ballots. The savings is that we don't have to order extra ballots just in case.
Okay, let's put it this way.
Yeah.
Make it easy.
Yeah.
If we are very close to 100,000 voters registered in Fort County.
Right.
Or a little more than that, but just for illustration purposes, 100,000 is a nice round number.
Sure.
If the municipal election turns what it has in the past, if you're looking at, we're hoping 20%, then that would be a fantastic turnout for a municipal election. Okay, now you're printing 20,000 ballots. If we do it the current way, where you're supposed to print every ballot for every registered voter, so that it's ready to go, you're talking 100,000 ballots. So now you're wasting that gap.
Is that what they've been doing though? Have they been printing in order?
Because, well, you gotta remember, 6 years ago, we ran out of ballots, and we didn't print them in advance. And so instead, we had to scramble the sheriff and had him fly out, literally in a helicopter, to deliver ballots.
But that wasn't a municipal election, that was.
That was
That was the
a
big one.
countywide election.
Presidential and presidential.
So, all right, I get it.
You see what I'm saying? I mean, the efficiency is over time. Now, the other thing is we're preserving those M100 machines, those ballot scanners, instead of just scrapping them, and like you said, if we go to something that Lake County has, where you gotta scan, you're talking big bucks. I mean, you go to a touch screen.
Have these e-poll books already been ordered?
Yes.
And so here's my question, it's my county council question.
Sure.
So we know that the contract needs to be approved by the commissioners. And we know that the funding has to be approved by the county council. But yet, these have been ordered before either one has been obtained.
The ones we have that have been approved are the original 14 in the block test.
And who okayed that?
That was through the,
For this one here, have we ordered any of these 84 e-poll books yet?
we ordered them, correct.
So back to my
So
question.
they've been approved by the election board, but they have not been approved by the county council.
Or the county
And the
commissioners.
commissioners have to sign off.
So that's so from a logistical standpoint, that doesn't seem the way that would, it's just, that's just my observation. But anyway, okay, well, any other questions?
Well, this is, David, so I understand this. This issue about, one day replacing, the paper ballot is really a separate issue at this point. This is
That's
about,
so far off.
okay, this is about being able to print off as we need to. I could definitely see the money, and it's also about, a much more efficient way of getting to an absolute correct number of the number of people who voted that particular election. And I can appreciate that winning by 12 votes in my last election. They all count.
And again, it's.
We were that close.
That close.
Yeah, in this election, is the best opportunity to test it, being a lot, much lower volume. I mean, we don't want to roll these out on the presidential election. I mean, that would be a
What do you mean
disaster.
testing?
Well, I mean, no matter the first time you use it, it's a test, no matter what you.
We already did that, right?
They've been tested, they've been certified by the state, you can't even purchase them.
Here, though, you purchased 14 of them, you said previously, we used them, what,
They've
early
been-
voting, or?
Then we test them at the county fair, they're displayed, they're being used for early voting now, we test, and they've all passed, and some of the other bonuses, they're gonna give you data on, how many voters are coming in per hour at each location, so you can manage labor. If you ever got to a point where you're in a voting center situation where you can rotate workers and things like that. So I mean, I think it gives us the capability that we're more maneuverable, for the future. But again, the biggest concern is that we're meshing the future with the current. Because the M100s aren't gonna last forever, our optical scanners, they're getting older. We had 4 of them that died getting older, we want to try to extend their life. I mean, the ESS is telling us they have another 8 years left, easy. So if we can meld the current technology with those, and we're getting an efficient process, we're still getting our paper ballot, we're making it more efficient for the poll workers to be able to do the job and make it a little easier on them, I think it's a win-win for everybody, as well as you're starting to lower your cost of production of the actual ballots themselves.
Any other questions?
I just have one comment, and I'll be done. I'm not comfortable with replacing something that's working very well, and that's my comment.
Jeremy?
Well, I'm gonna be consistent. We've been up here, a number of us, chastising the commissioners for doing things without coming in front of us, changing policy, you know, signing contracts without coming in front of us and having the money committed first. So, you know, I'm not just gonna change right now. So, I mean, things seem to be out of order here.
David, I think the request is merit, but I think that Councilman Clayton brings up a good point, that the commissioners have heard that.
Sure, and I'd ask if, I understand what you're saying, if we can have a reset then and put back on the next agenda. Give the opportunity for the commission to do it, and if they don't execute the agreement, then obviously then we can pull it from the agenda because there won't be any need.
I can support
You
that.
know, send it back,
Yeah.
send the machines you ordered back already then?
If we can't, if they're not approved, then we can't buy it. Simple as that.
What's your pleasure?
I would like to make a motion, Mr. Chairman, to reschedule this, reset this, table it, and give them the opportunity to go in front of the commissioners and make their case, and if that washes out, we won't be back.
Yeah, we'll be back, yeah, we'll be back.
Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
And let's get a roll call on the motion to table.
Councilmember Conover?
Yes.
Councilmember Whitten?
No.
Councilmember Paparad?
No.
Councilmember Biggs?
Yes.
Councilmember Rivas?
No.
Councilmember Jessen?
Yes.
And Councilmember Graham?
No.
That motion dies, it's not tabled. Is there any other motions that this body would like to make? I make the motion to, There's a motion to deny the transfer, the second on the floor. Any further discussion? Let's get another roll call.
To deny?
Yes.
Councilmember Whitten?
Yes.
Councilmember Paparad?
Yes.
Councilmember Biggs?
No.
Councilmember Rivas?
Yes.
Councilmember Jessen?
Yes.
Yes. Councilmember Graham?
Yes.
And Councilmember Conover?
Yes. They say no.
No, a yes is to deny.
You're consistent.
Thank you.
So the motion to deny passes 6-0.
Okay.
We have the question for the council, the commissioners will approve, can we reapproach the issue or the issue?
Go ahead. If you can request after addressing the commissioners, if you want a request to be placed back on the agenda. That's strictly within the realm of policy. All right.
Thank you.
Juvenile detention, additional several, 10,000 to contractual, 1,500 to other supplies, 7,000 to training and ed, 5,000 to travel, additional funds appropriated to original grant award. This is the Juvenile Detention Alternatives Initiative grant. What's your pleasure? Motion on all additionals, I assume? All right, the second concurs. Any discussion on this? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilmember Paparad?
Yes.
Councilmember Biggs?
Yes.
Councilmember Rivas?
Yes.
Councilmember Jessen?
Yes.
Councilmember Graham?
Yes.
Councilmember Conover?
Yes.
Councilmember Whitten?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Juvenile probation, general fund reduction of 10,642 from salaries. Reason, Porter County Juvenile Probation is seeking a reduction for an existing appropriate position that was recently vacated.
Motion to approve.
Got it. And a couple of seconds on the floor. Any discussion? Roll call on this, please.
Councilmember Biggs?
Yes.
Councilmember Rivas?
Yes.
Councilmember Jessen?
Yes.
Councilmember Graham?
Yes.
Councilmember Conover?
Yes.
Councilmember Whitten?
Yes.
And Councilmember Paparad?
Yes.
And motion passes 7-0.
We're 144, $42,098 to $31,456 probation officer.
A motion approved.
It's fine, we have a motion on the floor, is there a second? There's a second, any discussion? Let's get a roll call on 144.
Okay, Councilmember Rivas.
Yes.
Councilmember Jessen.
Yes.
Councilmember Graham.
Yes.
Councilmember Conover.
Yes.
Councilmember Whitten.
Yes.
Councilmember Pepperidge.
Yes.
And Councilmember Vitt.
She called you that.
He said no.
I apologize, I have no idea what,
We're voting on that, 144?
Yes.
yes. Mr. Whitten asked me a very good question.
I did, and he was kind enough to answer. Okay, that's it.
A quick question.
Yes.
Can we make that effective, May 13th of 2015? The current employee still has PTO left and just has a couple weeks left, and so that would be off the table at that time.
Just amend it to,
So you need me to amend my
Amend your
motion?
motion, yes.
Amend my motion to reflect that date.
is there a second to that motion? There's a
Vote.
second.
Yeah.
All in favor of the amended motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. All right, take care of it. Recorder, additional $150.
Had her pay before she left.
All appropriation request for 3 notary public bonds.
Motion to approve.
The motion, and a second. Roll call.
Second, Councilmember Jessen.
Yes.
Councilmember Graham.
Yes.
Councilmember Conover.
Yes.
Councilmember Whitten.
Yes.
Councilmember Pepperidge.
No. Who? Do you vote no? Okay.
Councilmember Vitt.
Yes.
Councilmember Rivas.
Yes.
The motion passes 6-1.
All right, thanks, have a good evening. Highway, major moves, additional $400,000 to bituminous, additional for asphalt and seal contract. There's also additional, $20,000 to tires, tubes, et cetera, $50,000 to auto truck and equipment, and $50,000 to 3650 vehicle repairs. Reason, high demand due to winter season.
Move to approve non-general fund, second.
We have a motion for both and a second for both. Discussion.
Where are we at with major moves for the back?
It's 8,000,000, what'd you say, 8,300,000 principal?
Major.
Yeah.
Okay. Lefty Shabs, roll call, please.
Councilmember Graham.
Yes.
Councilmember Conover.
Yes.
Councilmember Whitten.
Yes.
Councilmember Pepperidge.
Yes.
Councilmember Vitt.
Yes.
Councilmember Rivas.
Yes.
And Councilmember Jessen.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0 for both of those
Perfect.
additional.
Yeah, amazing. Parks and Rec, Porter County Community Foundation, additional $1,500 to contractual services, grant funding for curriculum update projects. There's also Park Grant Playground Fund, additional $78.3497, contractual reimbursable grant for natural playground through Indiana.
Grant.
And then there's additional $71.5 Pond and Prairie Fund reimbursable grant.
All the top three of
The
this.
top three are grants.
Correct.
Second.
So a motion to approve these 3 additionals with a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, let's get a roll call, please.
Councilmember Conover.
Yes.
Councilmember Whitten.
Yes.
Councilmember Pepperidge.
Yes.
Councilmember Vitt.
Yes.
Councilmember Rivas.
Yes.
Councilmember Jessen.
Yes.
Councilmember Graham.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Parks General. Yes.
Before we go into the general fund, can we have the auditor, what is the health of our general fund right now?
How healthy is our general fund right now?
Well, I urge you to take a position that we have no new money coming in. You have to remember that the additional appropriations you approved so far this year have been just over $1 million. We began the year with a balance of 1.6. Now, the additional you approved, most of them were unavoidable share pension and the quarter start payment that we had to make from last year or the year before, depending on how you want to look at it. And there was also that money for the telephone that was taken out of the general fund. So you've been very conservative with your additional. If
Okay, so, moving right along then. You want to be the first guy, I guess.
Walter, the request is for $1,617.47.
Correct.
Building liability compensation fund. Where was this coming out of before, Roger? Where did you take this out of last year?
General fund, 2014 budget.
What's caused the shortage? Has this gone up or?
Yeah, this reflects the current invoice that we received from the insurance carrier. So when we put in the number that was in the budget during the 2014 hearings, that was based on the estimate that we received from the insurance carrier.
If we were to deny, what would happen?
I'd go back to the park board and let them know. We knew that this was gonna be a question, and so I asked the park board what process they wanted to go through. There was a question, if you recall, last year about whether or not this was coming out of our budget in the general fund, or if it should be lumped together with the commissioners. The park board's, request was that I bring that back to the council and say, well, let's have a conversation of what we wanna do with this, how we wanna handle it.
The problem is,
I
we
mean,
have no new money. Can you find it?
I can absolutely do my best, for sure. I haven't said no to that question yet, so.
we would really, really appreciate it, Walter. I mean,
Yep.
Vicky just pointed out, I mean, we're hit with this $1.8 million reduction in our water.
I'm absolutely not surprised that the park board indicated it, rather than I start here with you all and find out if we can do the additional first before we went other avenues, so.
So, as we work our way through this, general fund stuff, what's your pleasure with this request?
Well, he's agreed to go back and see if he can find it someplace else, so.
I make a motion that we table it, have him go back and, find, see if he can find it.
I'll second that to get the discussion.
Second is noted, discuss.
I think we should table all the additional from the general fund, and tell them to come back with transfers.
Table or deny.
Right?
Table or deny, right?
Well, table them all and tell them to come back, or deny them and tell them to come back with transfers and live within their budget.
There's
I
only
mean, we just don't have any money.
There's only one
I
exception.
know the one, I said any general fund outside of the zone of wellness.
No, it's the sheriff's overtime.
Well, the
Their
overtime,
money
no,
is
I mean,
being
no,
reimbursed by
It sounds to me like maybe we ought to just go through each one.
Okay, it's fine.
So, we got this one in front of us, we have a motion, a second on the floor to table, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion to table, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thanks, Lon, appreciate it. Soil and Water General Fund, 2,500, classroom supplies for the demonstration, and reduction of 2,500 office supplies to the Commissioner's Office supplies for soil and water. Seems like we have some emails flying about on this one.
Yes.
So, what's your pleasure?
Well, we took everybody's supplies away from them and put it in a commissioner overseeing budget, but supposedly that budget won't cover these classroom supplies. Did you go through this one?
Yes, we did.
And what was the result? I
They were saying it all went into the commissioner's budget instead of transferring.
All right, how did you get the supplies?
Yeah.
They paid them eventually.
Well, we had an additional, yeah, kind of the same process.
Could we get the commissioners to either pay this because we took this away from them, or could we reduce their line item so we can get to soil and water and we can trade? And they're putting them in, but
Right, as the State Board of Accounts defines office supplies, the materials that I need for the classroom program just don't fit. And so I'm left with this money in the office supply budget that I can use.
I think, Councilman, Conover makes a good point. First of all, it's a very good program, well worth it, the investment. We'll take this, if you agree to, let's table this and go to the commissioners. We'll talk to the commissioners about taking that portion out of the budget and putting it toward this effort.
That's all we really want is just to get the money back.
that's all I
What
want.
I like.
I don't get it right, yes.
So, is that a motion to table, Councilman Biggs? And a second by Councilman Rivas. Discussion, Sylvia, did you have a question?
I was, we're tabling this, and what I'd like to see done is just to, have it taken out of the commissioner's office line.
We see a late sentence on the board.
The guy in,
Says something you can,
yeah, sure.
there you go.
Well, I guess we can go ahead and go.
Yeah, we'll just fix it. All right, I'll take that stab, so, what's the pleasure then, all in favor of the motion table, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. So I will talk to the commissioners, and we'll see how we can get this rectified, and we will get that office.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry. Should be addressed at the budget time for the line item.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Not office supply, maybe educate them.
That's what we like.
There's some budget items we're gonna avoid as a
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so let's move on down the line to the sheriff. We have a series of additions. Let's take them one at a time.
I'll make a motion on the additional for the hydro grant.
That would be
The
first one, $7,029.60. There's a motion on the floor with a second. Any discussion on this?
It's reading, what we have to pay them first,
That's
and then
correct.
get some on that.
Flow through. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Whitten,
Yes.
Councilmember Paparad,
Yes.
Councilmember Davis,
Yes.
Councilmember Rivas,
Yes.
Councilmember Justin,
Yes.
Councilmember Graham,
Yes.
Councilmember Conover.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Additional 24,000 salaries, process shares, deferred comp, 457 plan. Which budget?
I'd motion to table this and give them the opportunity to go back and see if anywhere that this can be found within the budget. We talked before the meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, transfer.
We have a motion and a second, on the floor. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Okay, Mr. Taylor?
Just say, well, I'm sorry, all in favor of the motion to table, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. On the form 144, is that a motion to table?
Second.
And a second to table, and we'll just address it all together, I guess, right? Or-
No, actually, that's just a placeholder, kind of, it's not even really there.
That's what is for the sheriff's commission.
Oh, no, we're talking about, okay, I'm sorry.
Can I ask a question of
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
I understand why we're doing 144,
Right?
because of his circumstances.
Right.
Scott,
I'm listening.
if Mr. Reynolds leaves, is the new sheriff entitled to this pay because you have to do some executive, elected official pay?
No, because of this is
We're technically raising his pay.
in lieu of the pension.
I understand that, but it's still gonna be a 144, his pay will be X.
Yeah, but if the next, yeah, that's a good question. If the next man or woman comes in, will they be faced with the option of taking this in lieu of?
Well, the easy way to solve it would be just to continue to do it as much time as normally and come back and begin to bring any additions. So technically, we're not actually reducing it.
So don't do 144?
You have to do the 144 now, once you do the addition.
So is it appropriate
There's
for
also-
us to
there's
table
also a
the
statute.
144 till we deal with the additional?
Yes, because there's no money to fund the 144 this year.
Oh, I know, that's a separate, but I'm saying there's a statute about an elected official coming into office cannot be paid less than a predecessor.
Idiot makes a motion to just pay.
I'm just like thinking, 4 or 8 years down the road, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah, but for the record.
Something we'll have to deal with. Because at this point, we have to do the 144.
Oh, no, I agree with that, but
Once it's funded.
Once it's funded, though, like you're saying, we can't go back. That's what he's saying.
It's not exactly what the law says.
Well, I'll tell you what we're gonna do.
Clarification.
Here's what I'd like to do. Give us some clarification between now and the next meeting. It's not that we're not trying to get the money.
No, I'm just-
But we wanna make sure we do it right. So let's table this 144 as well to the next meeting. In the meantime, give some clarifications to these questions. about what the impact this might have on the next sheriff or our obligations.
Okay.
I'll let you. So when Jim runs for sheriff next time.
And wins, we cut his
I wanna
salary.
make sure he gets all the money he deserves. $1. Okay, is that okay? Can I get a motion to table this 144?
Yeah, maybe find some money in your budget.
I'm going to second on the motion to table. All in favor of the motion to table, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Please do. I think that's it for sure, right? That's all. Zoo and wildlife donations off the commissioners.
Motion to approve.
We don't have a commissioner here.
No.
Where's the commissioner? Where's the commissioner? Is there a commissioner in the building?
$280,000 worth of motions here.
Did you read the reasons?
I did, but $208,000 for the request. Where are the commissioners? Anybody heard from them? So, okay.
We, as it states here, that they were part of the commissioners as well as the council, December 14th. We both approved it. It was inadvertently not encumbered, needs to be reappropriated for 2015.
And I have no problem with the request. I just wanted to know where the frequently.
So is there a motion in a second?
Yes.
Yes. Well, there's a motion, I don't know if there's a
I'll
second.
second the $30,000 for the.
All right, so we have,
light
we
fee.
have a motion to approve $30,000 funding for Flight K. The amount was requested and approved by both commissioners and council. It's just sort of cleaning up things. Let's get a roll call.
Okay. Councilmember Paparad?
Yes.
Councilmember Biggs?
Yes.
Councilmember Rivas?
Yes.
Councilmember Justin?
Yes.
Councilmember Graham?
Yes.
Councilmember Conover?
Yes.
And Councilmember Whitten?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
One more additional, jail rainy day fund, additional $250,000 to 2350 building maintenance, upgrading the sheriff jail old phone system.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion is second on the floor, any discussion?
Is this process in place right now?
Yes, the commissioners have approved it.
How much is left in that rainy day fund?
Yeah, they've got it.
Hold on, please. $956,448.
We'll be starting the year with.
Just over $1 million, 1076399.
Do you know of any other things that might be anticipated coming out of this rainy day fund this year? Have there been any other?
Is it any E911?
E911 has its own sub-fund, so they would probably use their rainy day fund until then. I'm not aware of anything that's.
I sit on that board and I'm not aware of it.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second on the floor. I believe, do we have any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Vitt?
Yes.
Councilmember Rivas?
Need that phone, Jim?
I get it, but we set a precedent, this is $250,000, nobody stands in front of us.
I agree with that. It is.
I can probably answer any questions you have because I'm leading this project, if that helps. I understand I'm not a commissioner's representative.
Right, no, that's fine.
Yes, thank you.
Councilmember Justin?
Yes.
Councilmember Graham?
Yes.
Councilmember Conover?
Yes.
And Councilmember Whitten?
Yes.
And Councilmember Paparad? The motion passes 7-0.
Okay, Treasurer General Fund, $5,000 to legal, appropriate, legal services for an attorney to answer questions arising through normal business.
We have, I think it's not one of the temporary vacancy questions.
Oh,
Is that right?
wow.
You ready? Except for on the other side of that call. So you have nobody on staff now that does that, nobody comes in, nobody, what type of questions would you anticipate being asked?
Well, a lot of it is making sure we're getting the right stuff. Making sure, like, my understanding is that the payment plan and the country that runs the business, we can then capture a state against vacancies. We have
But you talked to the
ongoing
county,
maintenance.
how many times? How about the county attorney? Have you asked her?
Yes,
And she didn't care to get involved?
well, that's not her area, but that's something.
Really? See, here's the problem, that the person, anyone that would have that area of expertise is probably not the person you want to have answering those questions. Because they're probably the people that are representing the folks that are making the payment plans. I'm just saying that, any other way other than that's probably the facts. And if you grab someone that's not doing that for a living, they probably don't know the law. So, there's not a whole lot between. I would suggest that our county attorney get good at it. That's what I would suggest the county attorney, here's what I would suggest the county attorney do. Pick up the phone and ask some attorney that do that sort of thing for a living. How does this work? What's the process? When this comes up, what should we do? Because I can tell you that 99.99999% of the time, the lawyer that's calling in for the debtor wants this amount paid, wants to get the treasurer to file the claim, wants to get that claim paid. They're not, it's not a debt they're trying to get away from. It's a debt they're trying to get paid first. So I don't think you're gonna find a lot, I don't think you're gonna find a lot of acrimony from folks that are trying to do that. So I'm not sure, and I'm not sure, I'm not in favor of this generally. I think I just have a few more questions.
How often do you get those questions? How often is this?
We are kind of trying to actually work through this right now, and we're finding instances that come up.
Because here's the thing, I can just tell you, here's the facts of it. If somebody gets behind on their Chapter 13 payment plan, we filed their claim properly from the county, that's the biggest issue. It's in there. They get 3 months behind on their payment plan, you go in and file a motion for relief from stay, it's not gonna be granted. Because relief from stay is appropriate if you're trying to take something the debtor does not need to reorganize. They need their house. So no one's gonna let you do that. So the bigger question is gonna be, how do we get this money paid first? And that's probably in the claim file. How you file the claim, what the claim looks like, gets them paid sooner. What could happen is, the county might have some standing to file a motion to dismiss that case.
I think you're probably giving her the questions that an attorney.
So, but no, the point is this, the end game isn't what you wanna reach. See, I think that if our county attorney had that conversation with a couple of lawyers that do that, she probably would be able to answer those questions for you. I think she would, and it's not. The county's involvement in that whole process is really procedural. It really is.
I think Council Witt makes a lot of sense. Well, got a council thing. I think, not saying that she's just trying to skirt, a job, which I think she's not, but something she needs to get comfortable with.
Well, I think we went through this the last couple of years where every department was getting their own attorney. Does the assessor still have an attorney? Does our auditor still have an attorney?
Yes, and Lydia.
For homestead cases.
Does our assessor still have an attorney? I mean, the president was set here. I'm not saying I agree with this at all, but I don't.
Yeah, but you're comparing apples and oranges, and here's what I'm trying to say. I'm not opposed to the idea of the treasurer having an attorney. I'm just not entirely sure that we're there quite yet. And it might be that, and I'm happy to talk to the county attorney and see what some of her reluctances and meet with the treasurer and see what some of those issues are. And it may be that she does need a lawyer in there. But having dealt with the treasurer's office on bankruptcy-related issues for years, I think that there are probably things we can work through, but maybe not. Maybe we do need somebody in there that you can pick up the phone and call with some particular issues that are coming. I'm just not aware of them right now.
So and you're not, technically, you're not asking for an attorney for your office. You're asking for somebody to have, a phone call away that you can get $5,000.
All I'd ask is that can you give me 30 days? Let's table this like the others. Give me 30 days, and I'll meet with our treasurer, I'll speak with our treasurer, and I'll speak with the county attorney, and then we'll come back, and maybe it makes perfect sense that we need to do this.
What about what is that fund that you got, Vicki? That be paid out of that if she needed it? She called it that. No?
No, the, ineligible homestead fund?
Yeah.
Is that what you're referring to? Yes. I'm trying to make it, streamline it so it is just for the homestead compliance program.
Yeah, but we could do it. Okay. Two questions.
So there's other sources
So
out
we
there.
gotta table this.
Yeah, well, I'm-
Can I ask a question, Mr. Webb?
Yes, you may.
This is what you do. Do we have to, does the treasurer have to hire an attorney to make sure you do your job for your client?
How do you expect me to answer that question?
Well, what I'm saying is, why do we have to hire, she has no discretion in whatever comes out of that federal court. Is that a fair statement?
Well, yeah, but there might be some issues that I'm not aware of that have been coming up. So I guess all I'm asking is to give me a little bit of time to talk to our treasurer and see what some of those particular issues might be, and then we can kind of see if there's something.
Because basically, our stance is that we are supposed to be working the same, we have no training, we have no rules and
If you would allow me the opportunity to come in and meet with you and whomever, because I gotta tell you, when the treasurer's office in Porter County and Lake County are banging it out like they're supposed to on claims and staying on top of things, which we are, it makes my job 100 times easier. Because I don't have to file claims for the county, and I don't have to go get copies of tax records, all that kind of stuff. It's a lot easier, so we want it to be easier for everybody. So if I can come in and sit down with you, maybe we can look at those things, and maybe I can answer a lot of the questions that you might have.
Motion to give Dan 30 days to,
All right, done.
get into the treasurer's office.
You guys were beating us, the students back there, they're nodding off,
All right.
they're losing them.
Can we table this to the next meeting, give me a chance to talk to Treasurer Kenny, a motion to that effect? You have a motion to a second, and a second, all in favor of the motion to table, signify by saying aye. Aye, opposed. Transfer $500, training and ed, transfer appropriation to cover traveling to post office and making daily required bank deposits. We have a motion
Second.
and a second.
Fees.
The transfers.
Oh, I was down.
All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye, opposed. Tax sale fees, additional $26,930 to pay tax sale fees to SRI for the year 2014. So tax sale fees,
Motion.
we have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
And a second, discussion.
Where is this money coming from, general fund?
No.
The sales fees? Sales tax.
Any other questions? Roll call.
Councilmember Reavis?
Yes.
Councilmember Jessen?
Yes.
Councilmember Graham?
Yes.
Councilmember Conover?
Yes.
Councilmember Whitten?
Yes.
Councilmember Paparad?
Yes.
Paparad? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. And Councilmember Vick?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you very much. Second reading, please.
Okay, second reading. Notice is given that the proper legal officers met in the Porter County Government Administration Building and considered the following additional appropriations that were received. Out of Porter County General Fund, Sheriff, overtime, $7,029.60. Juvenile Probation General Fund for reduction in salaries, $10,642. Nature Moves Construction, Fund 1172, I assume this $400,000. MDH, Fund 1176, tires, tubes, and batteries, 20,000. Garage and motor, 50,000. Vehicle repair, 50,000. Jail rainy day, building maintenance, 250,000. Recorders, records perpetuation, $150. Supplemental public defender, $15,000. Tax sale fees, contractual services, $26,930. Donations from the Wildlife Fund grant, buildings, $30,000. Common Prairie Fund grant, $71,500. Parks grant playground, $7,834.97. Circuit Court JBAI grant fund, a total of $23,500. And the Park Community Foundation Fund, a total of $1,500.
Dick,
Yes.
what's your pleasure with second reading?
Move second.
Motion and second on second reading, roll call, please.
Councilmember Jessen?
Yes.
Councilmember Graham?
Yes.
Councilmember Conover? Yes. Councilmember Whitten?
Yes.
Councilmember Paparad?
Yes.
Councilmember Biggs?
Yes.
And Councilmember Reavis? Is that
He's asked.
motion passes, 6-0.
Before we get to the, before we get to the attorney's report, one thing I'd like to address is, this business of the hospital proceeds, we've been waiting for the legislation to work its way through downstate. I would like to suggest that we schedule a joint meeting with the commissioners at this point now, and make some decisions on how a foundation, if that's the direction we want to go, is going to look, and how we want to go about doing the board, and how we're going to go about interpolating funds into that foundation. So I think that would be the appropriate next step.
Just as a point of clarification, I'm assuming that you're using the terminology foundation. At this point, you're meaning that under the new statutory created foundation language?
That would seem to be the direction we're headed.
Did I read correctly the legislation stand? That most that we're going to be able to invest at any one time is $50 million, or 55%.
Scott, clarify.
That is not my understanding of it. It's a limited one. There's a limit on equity that we invest in. The largest difference is in the time horizons. Those issues that are most striking to us at this point is the limit of the amount, of the percentage of our overall money available, and the timeline in which it can be invested in is our biggest hamster.
So,
those would be taken care of with that legislation.
yeah, and it clarifies some issues as to who's going to be on the board, quite frankly. So, are you guys willing to entertain the thought of us having a joint meeting with commissioners to work out these things?
Looking forward to it.
What month would you like to try to do that in?
Sooner than later?
Want to try to do it next month?
I would like to. Yeah, sometime in May. So why don't we, Scott, would you do me a favor, and would you send out an email to our members as well as to the commissioners' members, and indicate that we would like to move forward with the joint meeting. I believe they are also going to address this at their meeting. They would also like to have a joint meeting to move forward. So if we can coordinate some dates and just get it scheduled, that would be fantastic. We've been working through some bylaw language and trying to get some things ready to present to the boards. I think we're going to be able to hit the ground running in relatively short order once we get our meeting and get our specifics ironed out. I think we can start to roll. Is that right, Scott?
Correct.
So if you do that for me, I'd appreciate it. You have anything else to report?
Not at this time.
Anybody else have anything they want to bring before the body?
I just know that the new HR director
Thanks.
would be starting, I think it was May 11th.
I think that's right now.
Her name is Pam, again, unfortunately, I'm sorry I can't give you her last name. It's a very nice lady, looking forward to having her.
Perfect. I think Jeremy's been on the animal shelter, he had to leave, but on the animal shelter, I know that he's been communicating back and forth with Commissioner Blaney, who seems to have been the one to take the reins from the commissioner side of things. I know that Karen, you had actually had a meeting, I believe, at one point out at the shelter. Meetings, and so is there anything you wanted to add, or?
Just, there seems to be an unknown variable of additional, operational costs. And, the interim director, Tony, is working some numbers. We also talked about, I know Jeremy's been in touch with, not only Mrs. Blaney as I have, but Commissioner Good, and possibly we can build the incorporations, kind of maybe on the same percentages that we're building out on edit tax. So they are all, paying for it.
So,
The bottom line.
very good. Anything else that we need to report, anybody? Any members of the body? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make the motion.
All right, second, all in favor?